I've been working at Dynamic for the last 7 years. I'm the ex-owner of ZAP Performance. We started in 1992, and our specialty was building Jeeps and trucks, customizing, lifting, whatever you needed to make it faster, prettier, and higher, we would do. And this is one of my Jeeps that I have since the early 80s.
Joe, when you bought this Jeep, what kind of condition was it in?
Horrible. It had a 304 AMC motor, original, with a 3-speed manual transmission with an AMC 20 differential, which you couldn't get worse than that. I upgraded it with a 4.9-inch differential, okay, with a brace and a 48 gear, Detroit locker, unbreakable. It could handle up to 1,500 horsepower. Then we moved up to a TCI 700R4 transmission, which is a 4-speed with a lock-up torque converter. And then we moved up to an Edelbrock, which I'll show you in a few minutes, a 383 stroker. It develops 460 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque.
That transmission has overdrive, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's a 4-speed
Yes,
overdrive?
it has an overdrive and a torque lockup. So what that means is when you're cruising at 100 kilometers an hour and you're on 4th gear, the torque lockup will drop your RPM from 2,500 RPM to 2,000. That's just with the lockup. So
that gives you a higher top speed.
Yes, you have less higher RPMs when you're cruising on the highway. I used to have a 350 turbo, fantastic transmission. The problem is your RPMs on the highway rev way too high and you waste more fuel and you get your higher temperatures on your engines, whereas the TCI 4-speed 700R4 will drop all those numbers. Basically, another great thing about the CJ7 that you could do, that's very important. Everybody plays with suspensions, but what they don't realize is the handling on these things were horrible. So to fix that issue, what I show you right here is all the Jeeps are built with shackles, those zinc-plated shackles. They're usually in the front. And what that does, when you're playing with your steering wheel, your frame and your differential swings left and right, so you get a horrible handling. To fix that, as you can see, I put the shackle in the back. And what we did over here in the front was we added a kit that's a one-piece bracket that makes it solid, and it comes with a brace that comes across from one bracket to another. And this solidifies all that loose and play that the CJs always have, and this is a wonderful thing to do. If you want to spend your money on great handling on a CJ7, I would say that's your number one goal, is to install this kit. And obviously you can have other upgrades. Get rid of the steering shaft with a 2-piece universal joint shaft and a nice big thick steering box, as you can see here. Look at the thickness of this. It's a monster compared to the original's paper thin. So I would recommend bracket, inversion shackle kit, and then install yourself a good heavy duty AGR steering box. And you're with these tires are 33-inch by 50.5 inches wide. I could cruise at 160 kilometers an hour on the 40, and it'll handle amazing just because of those components. It just changes everything about the CJ7. If people are not into highly modifying their engine and drivetrain, but they want to get rid of that slack and looseness, that horrible ride that CJs have, at least invest on this kit. It'll do wonders for you. What I did is I changed the whole body. I put it all fiberglass, like I says, and I'll show you the tilt.
Why did you change the body to fiberglass?
Well, I wanted to make it lighter, and everybody knows how all these things are known to be rust buckets. But in my case, I never used it in the winter again. But I went for the weight. I wanted it to be lighter, and for me, it was more practical to go to fiberglass. And besides, I really like the fact that I can show you what I can do. I open the 2 hinges that are usually here originally, and I just, for safety, for the color, for the paint, what I usually do is I just put a cloth right here, just not to ruin the paint, but like that. You can put any type of cloth. And then I open it and I make it lean on the windshield. And the beauty of this is that if you got to do any work on your engine, you've got lots of place to work because you've got no fenders in the way.
There's your old logo and your old number.
Yeah, that's the old logo back in the 90s. And you see, as you can see, you can work on your headers, your valve cover, your anything you want to work on. You have the place. You're not going over a fender. So it's really nice to have a tilt top front end. There is models that you could tilt it forward, but I preferred going that way because you really have access to everything. Yeah, so basically this is a 383 stroker from Edelbrock crate motor. It develops 460 horses and 460 foot-pounds of torque. I got a line lock here. When I go once in a while, we do some drag racing. We have the line lock to warm up the tires. And that's the TCI transmission.
You're talking obviously about a four-wheel drive burner.
Well, the thing is, it used to be four-wheel drive. I converted to two-wheel drive. Why? I don't do off-road. I don't go out in the winter. It's a street machine. It's more like a muscle car on a Jeep's frame. So what I did is I deleted the front diff. I put a seamless tubing 1/2 inch, got it machined to the original spindles, and then got the alignment done on a 100-ton press because the seamless tubing is very solid. It's hard to bend. So I knew some guys that did big trucks and they pressed the housing to get it perfectly aligned. So I got my camber perfectly, my toe in, toe out. Well, I had to put traction bars, by the way, because with the torque that this develops at 460 pounds of torque, my brand new leaf springs, I scrapped them within months because all the burnouts on the takeoff, they just wrap. So I took some track bars from a Mustang and converted it to make it work with the CJ7 concept. And I haven't scrapped the leaf spring in over 20 years since. So that worked out great. We put a Mallory fuel pump here. As you can see next to the gas tank. This was originally a 15-gallon tank. We put a plastic 20-gallon conversion tank, so way bigger. And to cool off the transmission when you're going through a lot of abuse, if you see here, I put an external auxiliary radiator with an auxiliary fan. So whenever I see my temperatures climbing, I just flick on the switch, and that'll give me some extra cooling for the transmission. Because that's the trick, is you want to keep your temperatures up between 180 and 190 max on your transmission to keep the lifespan going longer and further. That's it, basically the dash, I built it myself. I took out the original, took aluminum piece of metal, drilled the hole, sent it out to get chrome. We got the B&M ratchet shifter. And yeah, built the brackets here for the dual shocks, welded the brace to the knuckle, and put a dual shock system there. And that's it. We got a dual battery isolator for the sound system, so you're running on auxiliary instead of your battery for your engine. So that helps when you're just tugging. And yeah, the radiator basically is not supposed to be here. I made it fit. I modified it. It's Flexolite. Yeah, that's the Edelbrock signatures at number 58 of 250 built. Yeah, this was all custom made as well. The front end. That's the secondary, the primary radiator for the transmission there. And that's it. I custom made this Flexolite radiator to fit here to get the maximum cooling.
Thank you very much for showing us the vehicle. Pleasure to have you working here. If anyone needs any information on any types of Jeep, pickup trucks, lift kits, performance, the whole 9 yards, Joe's the man.